Today we're getting digital with Vogue Portugal, having a mushroom trip with ELLE Brazil, and getting the royal treatment with Vogue Scandinavia. My name is Marco, welcome to the Model Gene, and if you're ready to dissect this month's covers, hit that like button and let's get started on December's Battle of the Covers. Starting off with Vogue US, we have Kaia Gerber by Stephen Meisel with guest editor Marc Jacobs. Would Kaia Gerber have this cover or any success if not for her mother Cindy Crawford? No. Was her neck skin retouched to look like a hot dog? Yes. Is this still a good cover in spite of this? Sure. Marc Jacobs loves embracing camp, even towing the line with bad taste, but I love the humor in these covers. Vogue US is so conservative and stuffy, I appreciate the injection of lightheartedness. There's almost a Minnie Mouse quality to the looks, and the exaggerated proportions reinforce this playful quality. There is a 15-minute video that Vogue made on the creation of this entire issue. I'll have it linked below if you want to see a bit of behind the scenes. SZA is on the cover of British Vogue, and after last month's triumph with Saoirse Ronan, this falls flat. Let's start with the positives. The hair and makeup are great. This lime knit dress does feel fresh and is full of texture. The lighting is thoughtful and tender, but for a cover, I want more. Especially at this crop, the image feels like it's from a lookbook, but what I hate most is that one thumb poking out. With the other fingers tucked in a pocket, we have only one singular talon creeping out. I would have wanted to see more of the upper hand, so it wasn't just a protruding phalange. Considering the garbage that British Vogue put out this year, this cover is one of the better ones, but not good enough. For Vogue France, this cover of Lola Bahia is even more boring than the British Vogue cover. Mert and Marcus seem to have neutered themselves to fit in with the trends of fashion photography. Nothing about this cover feels representative of their point of view as photographers, although I'm not even sure what that is anymore for them. We have Grandma's Chanel on a very thin, very young girl with the ironic text of La Renaissance du Chic. I'd rather not spend any more time on this cover. There's no statement here, nothing interesting, and even more sad when you consider that this is their December and January cover. Maybe February will bring something interesting? Vogue Italia, these covers depress me. Rafael Pavarotti photographed a bunch of models and Instagram models in a party atmosphere with the text, "No social media, the fun is back." But the party is over, evidenced by Lisa Rinna's daughter on the cover of Vogue Italia. Social media is the antithesis of art, and putting Maddie Fall and Enoch Yai on the same playing field as Lisa Rinna's daughter is an insult. To close out the year, Vogue Portugal has 3 beauty covers and 1 shot on location. For the cover of A Coup de Chol, there are elements that I enjoy, but I struggle with the overall statement. The color contrast is great, orange sand and fabric against the blue sky, the white dress with her dark skin, but I don't get the purpose of wrapping this C-stand in fabric. The shapes, the composition is nice, just a bit confusing. From the beauty covers, this concept is the most interesting, commenting on wearable tech and its role in the future. I especially appreciate the way the cables have been knotted to add more texture. This was really smart and well executed. The other 2 covers are nice, not as memorable, but perfectly fine. I would have gone without them, to be honest. The other covers are stronger. The 2 covers of Tilda Swinton by Zhong for Vogue Taiwan are vibrant and thoughtful. I'm very pleased to see this. The portrait captures an intimate expression that contrasts with the austerity of Tilda's look. This is one of my favorite covers I've seen of her. I would have been fine if this cover remained inside the editorial, but the yellow and blue color scheme works really well here. I just don't think the brown boot and tan dress feel appropriate. Angelina Jolie is on the cover of Vogue Mexico, and I think Dan Martensen dropped the ball on this one. Besides the flatness of the light, this angle of her head makes her jaw extremely square looking. Maria Callas is one of the most incredible artists of the 20th century, and I would have loved to see elements of her or another opera as inspiration for this shoot. Vogue Mexico has for their beauty issue, and there is nothing redeemable about this. The retouching is absolutely horrible. I don't want to spend much more time on this garbage, but this is easily the worst cover of the month. Miley Cyrus is on the cover of Harper's Bazaar US, shot by Ethan James Green. Miley struggles to close her mouth, but I actually like this cover. Even though it's a shot against a seamless background, the shadows add dimension and bring the subject forward rather than just a flat backdrop like the British and French Vogue covers. The peach filter across the portrait isn't my favorite. I would prefer just the one cover with the more natural tones. Juergen Teller claims another victim, this time Laetitia Casta for Harper's Bazaar France. There is a lack of visual hierarchy, the black dress is showing no silhouette, and I am looking forward to the day when I never have to see another cover from this man. The two covers of La Repubblica are so good, it is hard to choose a favorite. The cover of Karolina Spakowski is more dynamic with the radiating sightlines, but Ajus Samuels is more surrealist. Is this my favorite cover of the month? Almost. There is always the risk when shooting on location that the background will compete with the subject, but I think Julien Martinez Leclerc found the perfect balance here. There are not many magazines that are willing to take a risk with their covers, so they get extra points for making a bold statement here. ELLE Brazil is hitting hard with their covers for December. My least favorite is of Larissa Morai by Mariana Maltoni, which is too derivative of this Victor and Rolf look from their fall 2005 collection. I do like the hair, and I think that this shoot in the midst of a busy street could have worked, but all of the elements didn't come together here. The Mushroom Forest cover by Gleason Paulino is a knockout, and is my favorite cover of the month. There are so many details that excite me about this cover, but I'll try and focus on some of the highlights. From the most macro perspective, the warm-toned skin and hair of the model against the vegetation of the forest floor are really beautiful, giving Christmas green and red in an unexpected way. I also love the mix of texture. Her hair looks soft, her skin and the mushrooms are dewy, and the spray of dirt is purposeful and integral to the success of the image. The ceramic flower of the necklace doesn't stick out in the scene. It works well with the mushrooms rather than looking like product placement. This is a 10 out of 10 cover. I wouldn't change a thing. Luisa Perotte's two covers are really strong as well, my preference being this look in blue. I would not have gone for such a yellow brow, and the lip is too orange for my liking. I would go for more of a pink, but her pose and the way her face is lit is very nice. In the other cover, Luisa is channeling Erin O'Connor in the Versace campaign by Richard Avedon, and I think what photographers Mar and Vin did most successfully is add enough visual intrigue in the photos to where the gray background wasn't an issue. When there's enough going on with the subject, the gray background is a good option, unlike the many covers where it is simply too boring. Carly Kloss is on the cover of Elle España, strangely over-retouched in some of the photos, but the covers aren't bad. Carly's appeal has always been her body rather than her face, so I personally would never choose her for a cover, but this cover showing off her upper lip filler is nice. Her husband bought ID magazine for her with that Kushner blood money, so I prefer she stayed in that universe. Vogue China's covers of Lina Zhang by Heilun Ma are powerful, sexy, uncompromising with the fashion. The black and white cover is charming, but I don't think it needed to be a cover. I think the cover with the boys is stronger in selling the narrative of supermodel, supermom, but as an image, I prefer the solo cover in the lavender dress. The train of this dress adds so much drama, her feet positioning is fantastic, and although I don't always like the ultra glam model in an urban setting as a trope, I think it works here. Vogue Scandinavia's cover of Princess Sofia of Sweden is boring and dated, a common sin with this magazine, and a poor representation of one of the most fashionable regions in the world. It surprises me how out of touch this magazine is, and this cover of Princess Sofia offers nothing to represent the current state of fashion. Perhaps there was something interesting going on with the bodice of this gown, but as is, this cover does not stand out at all. I really hope Vogue Scandinavia changes their creative direction, because there are way too many talented people up there for this level of mediocrity. Drew Starkey on the cover of Dazed is conceptually undercooked, but not the worst. They are flirting with a country idea with a hay bale, but the rest of the editorial does not match that, especially with this Hollywood hoodie. But the most egregious offense was my ultimate pet peeve when photographing men, and that is shadowboxing. Whenever photographers don't know what to do with a male model and want some movement, they will ask them to shadowbox, and it is so cringy. And that is where today's review is going to end. But for more about the fashion industry, check out the links below. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the covers this month, and be sure to subscribe to find out who comes out on top next month in the battle of the covers.